bodies have a lot of muscles, and to maintain those muscles, you need more protein actually, more than a female. For a person who is not even into the exercise, I recommend, from my experience and the science says that it should be at least 1 gram per kg of the weight. Coming to the females, I recommend to have 0.8% gram per kg of the weight. For the kids, protein requirement is little higher, around 1.1 gram or something.
Now, I want to know that according to you, sir, which are the 5 top supplements anybody, not just runners, but just for health, would be needing?
The vitamin of well-being and mood and performance is vitamin D. First of all, vitamin B12. Omegas also I consider because people do not have enough omegas through MUFA and PUFA. It's about digestibility also and the conversion of omegas. So better to have a supplement. Apart from that, nowadays people need magnesium, right? Creatine is there, but it depends on the situation and the goal.
I want to talk about the most important part, sir, which you said nutrition for an athlete. Now, you are a vegan athlete.
Yeah.
Now, this is something which is one of the most surprising facts because I think सबको लगता है कि nutrition and protein requirement cannot be covered. So, can you tell me what exactly you eat on a normal routine day and when you are training for a particular endurance event? How do you cover your protein requirement?
First of all, being vegan is kind of blessing for me. It's a gift, and till date, I have not ever regretted being vegan, and it's such a gift. Second thing, if I comes to nutrition, earlier I used to eat a few kind of things like dairy products or some grains and vegetable. That's it. Now after turning vegan, I could see and feel and taste the God given uh, foods on this planet Earth, which I was really not supposed to even know about those foods. So I'm little lucky that I experimented so much, go to taste and trial, and coming up, finalizing. Yeah, this is working for me, and everything is so healthy, energetic, and I feel I'm contributing to the environment and the animals also with that. And so if my eating routine or nutrition routine is been asked, I'm a kind of person who wakes up in the morning and I hydrate myself first. I always use a copper filled water bottle in the morning and a pinch of pink salt. I hydrate myself and then I go for a run if it is easy. Sometimes if the run is hard or I feel that I'm not going to back after training next 4 5 hours for a meal, then I have a coffee with something uh, sweet, which kind of like tea laddu or ragi laddu, something kind of that, or dates ball, and that is my fuel for the morning. I don't eat much in the morning, and I don't believe in the breakfast and all. So for me, the morning thing is just focus on the main work, going out for my training with other people, and setting up a good routine in the morning. And when I comes back, so my first meal is always I tend to have something very homemade and traditionally Indian. So I'm a huge fan of the dal chawal, chapati, salad, all that, and all dressed up with kind of herbs and uh, uh, something smelling like ginger or turmeric or garnished with the uh, with any kind of thing which we make in the home, right? So that way I just deal with myself. Sometimes it's like uh, uh, rice with lentils, rice with beans. I pair up all that. So my nutrition time is very different when I'm in city and the mountain. So I eat a lot of rajma chawal in mountains. That is my favorite, and I don't know. It works a lot for the recovery, the kind of protein and the taste it gives, and so that is my one of the favorite meal. And after that, I used to have beetroot salad and lemon juice post my meal. uh, and once I am done, like I go for a walk during my work time in the day, And evening before training session, I always have uh, ragi porridge, and with that I eat sweet potatoes. So that is my favorite meal of the day. I don't know how much I like ragi porridge and sweet potato. I think that gives me a lot of consistent energy throughout the workout, and it stabilizes my glucose and gives me uh, with a high of consistent energy for next 4 5 hours. That's why I love that.
Is there
So
sugar in that? Is it sweetened with sugar or
no,
just
no, no
something else?
sugar.
No sugar.
Sometimes I put jaggery,
Okay.
otherwise not.
Okay.
And for sweetness, I usually add some banana, and I just garnish something with banana and berries in the porridge, and some nuts also. And for me, like sugar is like I eat dates, and I eat some jaggery thing. And I usually eat dates and jaggery for the sugar thing, and bananas. So then I'm out for the training, and I also experiment a lot with caffeine.
Okay.
So my mainly routine is that I time my caffeine and carbohydrates around training. If I'm not training, I don't eat much of the carbohydrates, and I don't use caffeine also. So for me, these are performance boosters, right? So I'm a huge fan of the millets and the caffeine. So I know how much I have to use when. If I'm idle, I don't. Before a race, I don't use caffeine. Like last 2 3 days, if I'm idle, I don't use. If I'm always high on the work for 3 days, I will finish up, tens of cups. So I'm very adaptable to it. I'm not addicted
Yeah.
to anything, but I enjoy the benefits of it. So yeah, once I'm back from training, I have a protein smoothie, something with berries and then plant protein in it. And then later on in the day, I go for a soup, like uh, soup or I would say that something which is having more of the vegetables, some tofu or tempeh in it, and yeah, some corianders or something like that, and along with some chickpeas and bread and some salad. So that is my finishing meal for the dinner. Then again in night, I finish up my routine with soy milk smoothie or something, which give me consistent energy throughout the night and the protein itself.
Right.
So that is my routine.
Excellent, sir. I think this is sounding very tempting. At the same time, I've been thinking about food while you were telling me rajma chawal, chickpeas, beans, lentils,
Yeah.
and coming to an interesting end of the day with ragi porridge without sugar. There's jaggery, some fruit, and also your end of the day is soup and fiber,
Yeah.
which is, I think, the key to healing a lot of diseases for
Actually.
people. And it keeps you fresh, light,
Yeah.
mental clarity.
Yeah.
And like you said, a little bit of protein, which is plant-based protein.
Yeah.
I would like to know your favorite brand as well.
So there is no favorite brand as such.
Okay.
Actually. I'm little bit very calculative, and I do research in selecting the food. For me, food is the first thing which I am getting in. Apart from air and water, food is the next thing which
Yes.
we are getting in our body. So if I am consuming some supplement, I check their ingredients, the percentage, additives, and all that, the quality and quantity, grams per protein per gram, so weight, and all that. And also check the lab test reports, how much of the heavy metals are there, and what is the safe criteria, and where they stand in the total 1 to 10 best brands in terms of safety and the digestibility also. So consuming all this protein supplement or any kind of supplement, for me as a overall, that I have to check what
You
I
have
am
to check.
consuming. So testing the checking the test reports, and checking the brand itself from where they're outsourcing the raw material, and what is the vision behind it. And so that makes me aware about uh, is that a brand good or bad. Sometimes even you feel that 2 year back you were trusting this brand, but now quality is deteriorating. So you have to change the brand.
You have to change. Of course,
Yeah.
with time you start understanding
Yeah.
and knowing more as
Yeah.
research and tests are conducted
Yeah.
on a particular product.
Yeah.
So yes, you have to be aware what you're putting on your plate and eating and consuming, because after
Yeah.
all, it's your body. So you need to be aware
Yeah.
about, especially when it comes to supplements and not the natural food. So now we're going to discuss supplements in detail, sir. You mentioned protein. So what is, according to you, a man's requirement of protein per day, depending on their body weight, and a woman's and a child? For example, a child is about 40 to 50 kilos. A woman, I would say, averagely 60 kilos in weight, and a man about 80, 75, 80 kilos. What is the protein requirement?
So if I'm coming from protein perspective for man, since man bodies have a lot of muscles, and to maintain those muscles you need more protein actually, more than a female. So for a person who is not even into the exercise, I recommend, from my experience and the science says, that it should be at least 1 gram per kg of the weight, right? RDA says that it should be 0.8 or 0.9, or I don't know, even 1, but it should be 1 at least, 1 to 1.1. So if somebody like 80 kgs, 80 gram of protein is the minimum thing,
Bare minimum.
bare minimum thing. Either you complete it with a diet or supplement or something, right? That is essential. Coming to the females, I would say that if some female is not lifting or doing something, and I would say that females also tend to have uric acid issues, what I observed, right? So from my perspective of the well-being, their long-term well-being, because they exercise less, they don't have adrenal, they have blood flow issues, and so more strain is on the kidneys because of the protein. I recommend to have 0.8% gram per kg of the weight. For the kids, protein requirement is little higher, around 1.1 gram or something, right? But for the kids, you don't have to supplement them. You play with a variety of the food. Like I said, uh, let them eat millets or all kind of grains. Go through the nuts and seeds, right? Go through the vegetables, which are high in protein and calcium also, right? So having a comprehensive and a well balanced whole food meal is very essential for kids. For females, again, I'm telling you, calcium is one of the issue which we face, and the hormonal issues they also have. So having healthy fats and the calcium, so ragi is the essential food for them. Having good mood and blood glucose level throughout the day. So if I count it, that they should be having a balanced meal of essential proteins with the millets, plus they can have khichdi with uh, some kind of garnishing with the herbs, and plus some lemon juice, because that helps in the absorption and the uh, digestion of the proteins, right? Plus they can have healthy fats with the nuts and seeds, but in moderation. So nuts less, seeds more, right? And then again, one essential is the ragi food, which is high in iron, which females lack, and the calcium which
Calcium.
females lack. So ragi is the one of the most out nutritional food for females.
Right. So seeds and nuts, but nuts lesser because they are more calorie dense.
Yeah.
And seeds because they have a lot of other vitamins and
Yeah.
minerals in them.
Yeah.
So for females, I also know to balance the hormones, fat first
Yeah,
in
fat
the morning. So seeds
Yeah.
and nuts, something in the morning is
Yeah.
essentially, which should
Yeah.
be a part of everybody's
Yes.
routine. And the protein which we are calculating is based on the ideal body weight.
Ideal body weight.
If you're excess in weight, doesn't mean that you have to eat that excess number of
See,
protein.
it against about the muscle percentage, right? If you are overweight, means then muscle percentage is less, but you are in fat.
Fat.
So you are not feeding protein to fat to maintain the fat percentage. You are
Just
feeding,
adding calories.
Yeah, you are feeding protein to feed the muscles, to retain those muscles in your body.
Now, I want to know that according to you, sir, which are the 5 top supplements anybody, not just runners, but just for health, would be needing?
So if I count 5 top supplements, is the vitamin of well-being and mood and performance is vitamin D. First of all, vitamin B12. Omegas also I consider, because people do not have enough omegas through MUFA and PUFA. it's about digestibility also and the conversion of omegas. So better to have a supplement. And apart from that, nowadays people need magnesium, right? Creatine is there, but it depends on the situation and the goal. And if people who are into the endurance sport, in which there is a lot of wear and tear in the body, then they may be needing to have supplements with the vitamin C and herbs and for some recovery. Otherwise, it's not essential, right? So these are the if key supplements somebody have. And apart from that, protein as a supplement, I don't count it as supplement, because I always recommend to have plant protein, and it's extracted from natural source. It's kind of plant only, just in the concentration. And because of that, you are just feeding your body with plants and natural food. So you can have a protein scoop also. That is, either you can count it as a supplement or not, it's up to you. But you can always have, you can supplement with protein powder.
Okay, and one more important thing I think could be iron. Maybe if the levels are low, you could be supplementing it
Yeah,
with
as I
iron.
told you, if you are
Yes.
training very heavily and somebody is naturally not having enough iron stores in the body, because iron is the main driver of the energy, main recovery agent, main mood making thing, and the ability of functioning of the human body depends on the iron mainly.
Right. And not just supplementation, but I think the absorption of iron is another factor,
Another
because you
factor.
might be supplementing yourself, but is your body really absorbing it and making complete use of it?
That is a totally
Complete different chemistry.
complete different chemistry, and it's very much individual also,
Right.
how the gut is
Response.
responding to it, and how what kind of lifestyle you are living, and how you have been trained, and what is the goal of your activity, or how you want to consume it.
Yes.
So for me, like, if for example, for a male athlete, suppose uh, performance athletes, they need 14.5 to 15 mg per dl of the iron, hemoglobin. But normal people, even 13 mg or 13 to 5, uh, uh, I would say that quantity is enough, right? But when you are going to perform, your values has to be high. Same with the vitamin B12. For normal person, vitamin B12 of 250 to 400 is enough. But for high performance athlete, 700 has to be there. For a normal athlete, the level of vitamin D3, uh, somewhere in the range of 30, is good enough. But we make our vitamin D level reach up to 100 also, where other people may think that is a toxicity level. But we live at the toxicity level, because you have to be at optimum. And when you are a high performance athlete, you are sweating so much, your BMR is so high, you are flushing out the things every day, every hour. So toxicity never happens, right? It doesn't stay in your system. The main thing, while consuming water soluble vitamins so frequently or so much, the reason is that you have to replenish it again, right? And in the heavy quantities.
Right.
So that is a main thing. I always tell that always be in the upper limit of the supplement range. Don't in the lower or the middle, or the recommendations for the general populations. Athletes always need supplementation on the higher side.
So now I want to talk about creatine, sir. A very, I would say, it's been a few years, highly marketed, heavily studied, well researched supplement. What is your personal opinion about creatine? Because I know that many Western doctors personally take and personally also recommend it to a lot of people. It's not just for the muscles. They say there is some kind of improvement in brain health, cognition, fighting diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. However, research is still developing on this end. Have you personally consumed, or would you recommend it to your own athletes? What would you say about that?
So first of all, in very simple term, I want to tell how creatine is working. When you ingest creatine, so creatine pass the blood-brain barrier, and the main way it works, like, it retains the fluid with itself. So the more water is being poured into the muscles and the cells, right? So when water is there, the electrolyte balance will be there, more oxygenation will be there, and with that, the size of the muscles and the power will be also increased, right? And as we know that more hydration, more electrolyte balance, more water into the system, right? It will be bringing up the good results. So creatine fundamentally do behind the scene work like this, right? So when somebody is ingesting creatine, it gives the side benefits of these things, right? These are the benefits like cooling up the water, maintaining electrolyte balance, and creating extra, mitigating oxygen deficiency. Plus, creatine is very helpful in ATP reproduction, right? So every time we are doing some activity, adenosine triphosphate are being released, they are getting depleted, they are being released again. So the recurrence of ATP is being so much activated by creatine that it gives ourselves instant activity, instant energy. It gives us the instant recovery from the hard bout. It gives us the instant power, right? And it also better our cognitive ability plus reflexes. So these are the overall benefits of the having creatine, right?
But sir, would you recommend it to only endurance athletes, or a normal person like me also should be taking creatine? So talking about creatine, sir, would you recommend a normal person like me who simply does basic training at home? I'm not into consistent events or the performance sports. Or would you recommend that somebody who's actually doing some intense training should be taking creatine? What is your opinion of
So
that?
there are two criterias. If you want performance plus cognitive benefits, right? Like as you said that you don't want performance, you don't want to be regular in training, or you don't have to
Yes.
perform much, right, in exercise, then you don't need to take you don't need to take creatine.
Creatine.
But if you want to, you are struggling with the cognitive abilities and you see the benefits of creatine, right, in your cognition, then you should consume. If these two cases are not there, then don't take creatine.
Yes, because just like any other supplement, creatine as well has a 20 to 40% population which will respond very well to it.
Yeah,
20 to 40% people will probably feel a 5% improvement,
yeah,
and some of them will be non responders.
yeah,
So you could be anywhere. Then you have to
anyway,
see how it's really
yeah,
helping you improve, because it does impact the kidney. I think it comes on the test, but it's not really harming the kidney. But yes, it affects your creatinine levels in the blood
yeah,
markers.
actually,
So if you're diabetic or you have a kidney problem, then doctors completely tell you not to take these kind of supplements.
yes,
But if you're a healthy person and performing well, I think it could be something which is beneficial.
yeah.
However, I think I'm not really thinking of starting some supplementation like creatine for
You are
me.
well physically, mentally, you are all fine.
Yes,
Your
yes,
brain function is optimum.
yes,
You don't have to perform every day on the track
correct,
or on the trail, right?
correct.
Then you don't need it.
So I think remaining metabolically clean also works with the basics of life, like good nutrition, hydration, sleep, and keeping yourself emotionally fit.
Yeah,
These are the foundational pillars of overall health for
one
anybody who's like a general person like
exactly.
me.
Yeah.
So that was great, sir.
One more thing I want to add into
Yes,
it. So our inner age depends on the health of our internal organs.
right.
How much we load it, right? In terms of nutrition, in terms of supplements, and whatever we consume. Somewhere it adds load to the organs to work on the full capacity. And organs have a life, right? Just like the combined human body life is our actual uh, life. We age to the certain limit, right? If we say 70 year or 100 year, so maybe somewhere heart is having that much of the age, liver, kidney, and all that. So combining all, my age is 70 or 80 or 100 years, right?
Right.
So the health of our internal organ independently, that is very crucial for healthy aging plus longevity.
Right.
So I always recommend people, if you don't need something, don't go behind the fads and the recommendations.
Correct.
Don't overload your system. Keep your internal organs free from the excess load, right? Which they do not need to process, so that you can be your kidney and liver and internal organ are like a machine, right? And there is a limit to the life of the machine. So don't overuse it before time,
Correct.
right? So let us take the benefit of that and move ahead.
Right. And like you mentioned, creatine helping you with the hydration part
Yeah.
and energy ATP. Yes, those are very different mechanisms. But in a general life, I would say electrolytes, if taken well,
Yeah.
or a pinch of salt taken in the
Yeah.
morning, it's a simple yet effective
Yeah,
method
same thing.
of keeping yourself
Same
hydrated,
thing, yes.
and very simple for the body to kind
Yeah.
of get rid of. So simplicity also works.
Right.